Well, hello everyone, this is Bob. Video I'm putting out here is just a re-edit of an old video that I had at one time posted. I unlisted it actually quite a while ago. I had a lot of comments about the sound. The music volume was high and low, and I know I have other videos with the same issues, but this one tended to get a lot of comments, so it was probably a little more prominent than the other ones. I also had another comment about someone used a similar plastic cup that I show myself using to do the varnishing, and they had an issue with the cup melting. That's what actually prompted me to unlist the video in the first place. The sound I could have lived with, but that I didn't want to live with. So I did put a warning in this video about that. Could possibly happen. Didn't happen to me, but could happen if you use a different brand than I use. I don't know. But anyways, I put a warning on there just to caution anybody that's going to use a similar plastic cup. And another reason why I'm doing this particular video too was it was a very popular video at the time. It had almost 4,000 views, where most of my videos don't even get 1,000. So I thought it would warrant actually redoing it. So it's going to be out of order in the uploads, but it'll be in the playlist in the proper order. Now, I won't be doing this to any other videos. For a couple reasons. One, I just don't have the time to do it, and I'm not going to bother. But another reason was I really can't do it as easy as I did this one. I did this one early in the spring, thinking I was going to post this during my summer break from posting videos, but I forgot to do it. That's why it's coming out now. I also upgraded my operating system on my computer, so my iMovie, anything I did in iMovie prior to that, the new iMovie doesn't recognize it, so I can't get in there and work on it. I mean, there's other ways I can do it. I still have all the raw data saved somewhere else, but I just can't easily edit any old video anymore. So I won't be doing any more of this. So this is a one-shot deal. Now, this video isn't replacing my scheduled video that's going to come out next week per my current 2-week schedule. So it's just getting it out there to get a full set of episodes for people to watch. So if you've seen it before, there's nothing really new in it. It's just a little easier to watch, I think. And that's about it. So I'll see you next week in the latest video. Take care. Hi, my name is Bob, and I'm renovating this 1973 Egg Harbor Sportfish boat. Hey everyone, welcome to Renovation Sportfish. In this episode we're going to do some varnishing. We're going to redesign the guardrails up on the flybridge. We're going to do some work on the coverboards in the cockpit, and we're going to replace the rest of the rubrail. So I'm going to show all the pictures of the wood up on the flybridge that I put in last episode varnished. But before that, I'm going to go through all the materials and things that I actually used, and then we'll do a little a demo, and then we'll get to the pictures. Okay, real quick, we're going to run down everything we have here to varnish. We have sandpaper over here, 120, 220, 320. They say you can go up to 600, but I'm just going to stick with 320. I'll do it to 600 if I ever do it again in the future, which I probably will. A couple sanding blocks, a little one here I like for small places, and then I have my regular 3M one I use all the time. Some Scotch-Brite pads. They recommend these things between coats. We'll look at this first. They don't recommend using tack cloths. They recommend using a lint-free cloth with some warm water. That's what we'll use there. Tape if you need it. The brushes. These are just cheap brushes that I like to use. Can't actually find them anymore, but that's okay. I'll find something else. I'll probably use this one for the mock-up. I use this one for most everything. This is a wider one. Then we have some cups to pour the varnish into. They don't want you using it right out of the can, which most varnishes are like that, and paints actually. And then we have the actual varnish. Now I'm calling it varnish, but it's really acrylic urethane. It's by Awlwood, maker, the same people that do all grip paint, if you're familiar with that. Great marine paint, and I use that on the boat as well. but they do have this wood product, and they have this primer, and they have it in a clear, a yellow, and a red tinted variety. I tried the red tinted one, and I didn't end up using it. I ended up sticking with the clear. And this goes on first coat, and this is kind of watery, and it's kind of the binding agent between the wood and the top coat, which is this clear gloss. They may have a matte additive, I don't know, you have to check it out. But the thing is, with this, the reason why I chose it is because they claim that it lasts longer than traditional varnish, and I think it's because of the primer that they use and the bonding between the wood and the actual top coat. But yet to be determined, because it's been both been under shrink wrap since I've varnished, so it hasn't seen the full brunt of weather and everything else that goes with that. Just hot and cold, and it handles that fine. So we'll see down the road. But that's about it for this stuff. Okay, so on their website, www.allgrip.com, they have a application guide, and here's an excerpt from that. It's a 100-page thing, covers every single finish they make, and it gives tons of information. There's 6 pages here just on this varnish stuff. So it's really good. Now, I mean, you look at this can, and this is all their products, and right here it says for professional use only. Well, that would leave me out, but I'm going to use it. I use it anyways. Their paint says the same thing. You can get it at any marine store that has a good quantity of paints and things. So I don't really understand why they put that on there, but it's on there. Amateur using professional tools, scary. So anyways, that's enough. If you really want to use this stuff, I would suggest getting this thing, downloading it, and read it, and go to town. So there's a couple things I wanted to change on the guardrail design up on the flybridge. The original ones came back a little too far, I thought, and I didn't like the way they were mounted on the outside of the sidewalls up there. So I decided to move them inboard of the sidewalls, tuck them in closer to the seats, and add these little base plate things underneath the base fittings. I saw it done on another friend's boat, and kind of levels off the base plate, and I thought it was a good idea. Another thing I'm doing here in this little segment was fitting the original factory handrail to the sidewalls. So now it's time to tackle the coverboards in the cockpit. The teak that was originally there was too far gone to reuse, so I had to remove that. The plywood that was underneath it, and then do an assessment of the framing underneath that. And only the port side corner near the transom needed to be replaced. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do is replace the rest of the rubrail. Now I had already replaced from the bow about halfway back, and I'll show a few pictures of that in the beginning. But then I wanted to replace the rest of it from where I had left off all the way back here, across the transom and up the other side on the board side. I used EP, same as I did in the front, of course. And yeah, that's it. Let's check it out. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you liked it and you come back again. Until then, have a good one, and we'll see you soon right here on Renovation Sportfish.